think that men that don't get piso are very obvious. And there's a lot of non-piso getting men out here pretending that it's women's fault that they don't get piso. But the reality is they have convinced themselves that because they see so much beauty, or they see so many women that they feel they should have access to, whether it's on social media or reality television or movies, whatever it is, we're so overstimulated that they believe they should have access to like the princess because they can see the princess and follow her on social media and send her DMs.
Women believe the same thing, though.
Right, but women can do things men can't do.
Like what?
Like fuck a prince.
Okay. But men can do that, too. This is what...
Yeah, but men, most of the time, need other things in order to do that.
Right, but that's why men then try to accrue those things. They try to acquire those
right.
things.
But I'm saying let's just focus on the men that doesn't have those things. Okay, let's focus on this guy. Right, and if you're this guy, I'm talking to you for a very specific reason. I feel like there's a great deal of society that's convinced all men, right, that they should have the most beautiful, like non-accessible women on the planet.
But they've
from their grandmother's basement.
I know, but they have convinced those men of so many other things too. Remember when you said you wanted to be the trillionaire?
Yeah.
They've convinced those men, a lot of those men, to vote for the interests of those billionaires.
Correct.
In hopes that they will one day be them. So there are so many different things that those, I
don't think it's a singular thing that has caused them to be incels.
Right.
But what I think is particularly dangerous when it comes to the dynamic between men and women is, and I do think that Sophie has a great deal to do with this.
Yeah.
These men have convinced themselves that they should have women that in any point in the history of time they would never have access to. Like you were always this guy, and you could not walk into the King of the Vikings setup at Kattegat and say, I'm going to marry your daughter. They would take you outside and do the blood eagle for having the audacity to say that you were going to take, I love that show, that you were going to take the princess. You don't get to love the princess. Matter of fact, don't even look at the princess. You keep your head down and you don't even look at her. But now that same guy who's never slain another warrior and doesn't have the Viking ring, just never put blood on his face, doesn't think he should go after the princess, thinks the princess should die because the princess won't look at him. Right.
But what I'm saying is, I agree with you. What I'm saying is, so two things. One, social media has exacerbated this, right? For everyone. Social media has exacerbated this from everyone. I talked to an old groupie one time, and she was mad at the new groupies. And she was mad at the new groupies. She goes, back in my day, if I wanted to love Jermaine Jackson from the Jackson 5,
you had to work for it.
I had to work for it. I had to put some effort into it, right? Or I had to be lucky. The Jackson 5 had to be coming through town. And even when the Jackson 5 came through town, I had to fight my way up there. I had to wait. I had to do all of that. She's like, it's not like I could just...
And still not get shows.
Right. It's not like I could just DM him and send him 15 pictures and videos and then he would choose me. Like, that's different. That's lazy. So everything has changed, right? So the way that we compete has changed, but more than anything, the way that we lose has changed. Now, PPP loans, a PPP loan is not, when everybody was scamming the loans, it's not just a means to get some bread. It's a means to get everything. It's a means to get the belt you need. It's a means to get the thing that you need. It's a means to get your followers up. And all of that means everything else comes with it. But the people on the other side of that lose, that don't have what it's necessary to compete, they lose hard. They lose to a point to where the win has been changed so much that those guys don't have anybody to fuck. Now, I'm going to ask you a question.
But they do.
But they don't think that they do.
That's their fault.
But let me ask you a question about the incels. Do you think the incels, do you care about the loneliness of the incel?
I think that male loneliness is a massive problem.
Okay, so
I think getting male lonelies are deteriorating society. Yes, I think it is a massive problem.
What do you think the fix is?
One, I think we should legalize prostitution.
Okay.
I have been standing on this for decades, and I think that prostitution should be legalized.
Okay.
They will never do this, but that I think would be a massive solve.
Massive solve. Okay.
One.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Ask follow-ups.
No. Follow-up is, what because that's a temporary loneliness fix, although it's effective. What would be a long-term fix to bringing people back together? What do you think?
Okay. So while it's a temporary fix, right? And many people will have some retorts to this, of course. It's not a simple solve. Mm-hmm. But I believe that straight male biology, and particularly men who have this sort of anger, is because they don't get physical intimacy, right? But they have convinced themselves the type of physical intimacy they would like is, their favorite porn star or favorite OnlyFans girl or this unattainable beauty on Instagram who is never, ever, ever, ever going to fuck you or meet you or talk to you ever. Mm-hmm. So they don't look for the physical intimacy that is around them. They don't go outside of their home. They don't go down to the local library. They don't go to their local bar. They don't go join a social group in order to meet people because they feel that this beautiful 10, whatever, is going to walk through their front door and suck their dick, and that's never going to happen. Mm-hmm. But they sit there scrolling like, hey, in the DMs, and they believe then that the women are not responding to them because of feminism.
Wait a minute. So are you telling me that when the pizza guy shows up to the door?
Yeah, I don't suck his dick, actually.
I mean, but that's not real. That doesn't happen.
No, I know. The setups in porns are insane.
But
and you buffer past.
But I don't.
Do you buffer pass or not?
Well, I buy porn, so I don't. I'm a porn buyer, so I don't. So like it, I get.
So you have to get your money.
I get my shit in the top quality, like it's because I'm actually supporting. Yeah. Like I get my ish.
You want it clear?
Yeah, I don't want to go. Y'all niggas, I don't understand how y'all niggas. Y'all niggas want spyware on y'all computers and all of that stuff like that.
It's a lot.
I watch the BTS. I watch the behind the scenes. I want to know.
Watch the interviews.
Yeah.
Interviews are such a waste of time. I hate an interview porn. You're just sitting there, and it's like flash, 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 and it's back to her talking.
No,
what's the point?
No. I want to know, hi, my name is Candace. I'm from Rialto. Anyway.
We have derailed. The point is, I think intimacy is a big problem. I think men not having sex is a big problem.
But this is my
and the confidence that comes from not having physical intimacy, not having the ability to have sex, turns them into these raging psychopaths that then blame feminism and women running for presidents as the reason why society is deteriorating. And then they go out and vote as such in favor of trillionaires who wouldn't give a fuck if they had their last breath halfway through this podcast.
You are not wrong in terms of how the lack of access to affection, how it feels, it's isolating and all that. I get it. This is my fix to it. It's very simple. My fix to it is for us to think about how we are reorienting society. Like, for example, all of the kids that I work with and all of that stuff, they're always talking about how hard it is to date, but they're also talking about all the places that they don't want to go. Mm-hmm. They want to be in their cribs.
Right.
They want to be in their houses. They want to do all their work on Zoom. Can this have been done in an email? No, you need to talk to people because the more conversations you have with people and the more that you're around people, the more the walls between you and them fall down.
Couldn't agree more.
And you're able to build common interests and attractions with people.
With human beings. Don't you think that's why you have great conversations in strip clubs?